I, Aristarchus of Samos, was born on the island of Samos around 310 BCE, a time when the Hellenistic world flourished under the legacy of Alexander's conquests. My birthplace was no ordinary island. Samos had been home to Pythagoras, that brilliant mind who first whispered the connection between numbers and the cosmos. It was a fertile land, its hills rolling into the Aegean, where evenings brought a sea of stars mirrored on dark waters. My family was respectable, though not aristocratic. My father, a merchant, often sailed to the coasts of Ionia and beyond, his voyages guided by the constellations. From him, I learned early on the practical importance of the stars. Yet, for me, they were more than navigational tools. They were eternal enigmas, challenging me to look upward and wonder. As a child, I was quiet but endlessly curious. My tutor was a local philosopher influenced by Ionian thinkers like Anaximander and Heraclitus. From him, I learned the basics of mathematics and natural philosophy. I devoured tales of how Anaximander proposed the Earth floated freely in space, unsupported. Such ideas planted seeds of doubt about the traditional stories of the heavens governed by gods. When I reached adulthood, I journeyed to Alexandria, that glittering beacon of knowledge. The city was alive with scholars, its streets bustling with merchants, sailors, and thinkers of every creed. At the heart of it was the great library, a temple of learning unmatched in the known world. Its scrolls contained the collected wisdom of Greece, Egypt, Babylonia, and India. In Alexandria, I studied under Strato of Lampsacus, a philosopher who followed Aristotle but emphasized empirical observation. Strato encouraged his pupils to question dogma and seek truth through reasoning and experimentation. His teachings resonated deeply with me. I became enthralled by mathematics, astronomy, and geometry, the tools with which one could decipher the workings of the cosmos. It was in Alexandria that I encountered the works of the Pythagoreans, particularly Philolaus. Though they saw the universe in mystical terms, their suggestion that the earth might move intrigued me. I also pored over the star charts of Babylonian astronomers, whose meticulous records spanned centuries. These records revealed patterns, rhythms, and irregularities, hints of a deeper order. As I observed and calculated, I grew increasingly dissatisfied with the geocentric model, which placed the Earth immovably at the center of the universe. The complex systems of epicycles and deference required to explain the retrograde motion of planets seemed unnatural. Could there not be a simpler explanation? One evening, while pondering the vastness of the cosmos, I imagined an audacious idea. What if the sun, not the Earth, were the center of the heavens? If the Earth and other planets orbited the sun in circular paths, the retrograde motion of planets could be understood as a mere consequence of perspective. I knew this idea would be met with resistance. It contradicted Aristotle's teachings, which described the heavens as perfect spheres circling an immovable Earth. It also defied common sense. After all, the ground beneath our feet felt stationary. But my observations told me otherwise. To support my heliocentric hypothesis, I turned to mathematics, the language of certainty. I began a bold project, to measure the sizes and distances of the sun and moon. Using the tools available to me, geometric reasoning and the careful observation of eclipses, I compared the apparent sizes of these celestial bodies and their shadows. I deduced that the sun was vastly larger than the Earth, much farther away than the moon, and likely the most significant body in the cosmos. Though my methods lacked the precision of later generations, the implications were staggering. How could the immense sun revolve around our small Earth? Surely the roles must be reversed. Despite my confidence in the logic of my model, I understood the peril of advocating for it openly. The geocentric model was not just a scientific paradigm but a deeply ingrained worldview. Aristotle's authority was near sacred, and to challenge it risked ridicule, or worse, accusations of impiety. I shared my ideas cautiously, presenting them as thought experiments rather than definitive truths. Some of my contemporaries dismissed me outright. They claimed that if the Earth moved, we would feel it or objects would fly off its surface. I argued that the vast distance to the stars could make the Earth's motion imperceptible, but my explanations often fell on deaf ears. In my later years, as I walked along the shores of Samos, I often pondered the fleeting nature of human life compared to the eternal heavens. I knew my heliocentric ideas might fade into obscurity, overshadowed by Aristotle and Ptolemy. Yet I took solace in the belief that truth was patient. The universe, I realized, was like a vast puzzle, and I had merely placed a single piece. Perhaps future minds, armed with better tools and freer from dogma, would uncover the full picture. My work, incomplete and flawed as it was, might someday inspire others to look beyond the horizons of tradition. As I gazed at the stars, those silent witnesses to human curiosity, I felt a profound sense of peace. For even if my name and ideas were forgotten, the truths of the cosmos would endure, waiting to reveal themselves to anyone brave enough to seek them.